guys, how are you? Hello, baby. I don't wear a lot of makeup because for my job, I just do like to do a lot of good skincare because I'm outside all day long. I could just imagine trying to wear a full face of makeup when I'm trying to go do deliveries. I'm not about that life. I'm all set. I'll look like a cute little tomboy in my little uniform with no makeup. If I was in an office setting, that'd be way different. Other than that, I've been having a pretty good week. One of my days, they sent me in a whole different area. When you are a driver, a new driver, they basically don't give a fuck. They're gonna bounce you around. You don't have a permanent route, which is why I always say, like, you never know what you're gonna do when you go in that day. I'm still living by myself. Love being home alone, doing nothing, just chilling. I'm no professional when it comes to doing my makeup, and I just want to keep it really simple today. I'm not trying to do anything extra, and I know that that was super like unhygienic, but oh well. This color is also really dark for me. Don't worry, I'm gonna blend it, and I'm gonna blend in a lighter color in. So this week I really barely talked to anybody. I have just been having a moment of like, I need to balance my energy right now because it's all over the place. Like, I haven't been focused. Sometimes I just like run out of energy and I just don't want to do anything. I don't want to talk. I don't even have like energy to text anybody back. So I feel like that's also the reason why I'd be like disappearing on my Facebook, on my social media. Hello. That shit. Excuse me. You hear him trying to butt in on the conversation? Excuse you. But anyways, I already forgot what I was talking about because he just rudely interrupted me. Like, I have been struggling since I was 18. I moved out of my mom's house, and it's because I wanted to. I just wanted to go live my own life. Like, I don't want to leech off my parents all the time. And you know, it was a good idea, but it was also a bad idea at the same time, because the whole reason it was a good idea was because I was constantly just the babysitter at the house for my younger siblings, which that's not bad. That's a good thing. But I got tired of that. Like, I wanted to go and live life a little bit. Like, I just wanted to, I don't know, experience everything. And I couldn't do that at home. So I was like, all right, I'm moving out. And my first job that I had, I worked at McDonald's. And that, a lot of people, like, I notice are like, oh, I would never work in fast food. I would never do that. Like, because I guess for some reason we think of it as like a horrible job to have, or like that you suck and you're failing at life. But in my opinion, like, you're working, get your bag, get your money. Like, who gives a you do for work? Like, don't listen to everybody out here trying to tell you that McDonald's or Burger King or whatever is a bad job, or even Dunkin' Donuts or anything like that, because I'm going to tell you right now that those kinds of jobs are going to be the jobs that are going to stick with you for the rest of your life. You are going to learn so much in those positions simply because you are dealing with the public. It doesn't matter what position you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're a cashier, if you're a grill person. It's like a life version of high school, basically, in my opinion. Because when I tell you guys, like, McDonald's, it was such a fun job, and I got really, like, the time that I was working there, I made really good money there. I worked overnights, which kind of sucked, but at the same time, I had no social life, and I needed a higher paying job so I could pay my rent. And also at the time, I didn't have a car, so I had to walk to work, and obviously my options were limited, and I needed something that was going to give me hours all of the time. Now, disregard my eyebrows because they look like shit. I have so many memories of just learning how to deal with people, how to deal with their behaviors and what they talk about. I used to work overnights, and I used to get harassed by one of my exes. To everybody else, everyone was like, oh my God, Kim, like, how are you like dealing with this right now? Like, she's like saying all these kinds of things about you to everybody right here in the lobby. And I was just like, girl, I don't got time for that. She can say whatever she want to say. Like, I got no disrespect. I don't even know you. I don't even know you enough to hate you. Also, this was like 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, you're drunk. Like, you know what? Like, I don't feed into that kind of stuff. I don't feed into drama. I just never was into that. Like, I was more focused about me getting mine and getting my bag, because at the end of the day, that's all that mattered. Because imagine if I did have reacted to her or said some stuff to her, I could have gotten fired, and then what? And then what? Like, it just wasn't worth it for me. But I also had customers that were so freaking weird. Like, super weird. Okay, so for example, there was this one guy that used to come to McDonald's always at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to come get a coffee. Now, whenever he orders coffee, I knew who he was because inside somebody's ordering, you can hear everything that's going on. Even though you're not ordering, I can still hear everything they're saying in the car. Like, don't think people are stupid. They can hear everything you're saying. So I would hear him like talking to himself a little bit. And then when I'd be like, oh, hi, can I take your order? And he'd be like, yeah, large coffee, French vanilla, 1 cream, 1 sugar. I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. Drive on up. Like, one time I remember specifically that I was like, okay, $1.08. And he was counting out change, like literal change. He wasn't giving me, it makes me think that it was more than $1.08 because he used to get a large. So that was probably like 3 and change or 2 and change, whatever it was. He would like count out his money at the window and make me wait for like ever. And I was just like, oh my God, like, okay, haha. And I put my hand out to get the change. And he purposely put his hand this high up, let the change go so it could all fall to the ground. And I was like, haha, it's okay, like, it's fine. And he would be like, oh my God, you don't know how to grab money from me, apparently. And I was like, haha, it's okay, it's fine, don't worry about it. And he would open his door and start picking up all the change off the floor. And I was like, and I would be like waiting there with his coffee to give it to him. And he's picking up all the change off the floor, takes his coffee and drives off. Like, what? Okay. And then I also remember another story. Why can't I put this back in here? Like, am I just like stupid? What's happening? Another time he came through the drive-thru, ordered the same thing, large French vanilla iced coffee with 1 cream, 1 sugar. I don't know how the hell I remember that. I just remembered that from talking about the whole situation and whatnot. So like, that's like weird to me. So the other story that I had that I remember, when he came through the drive-thru, right, he ordered the same thing. When he came up to the window to pay me, he had cash this time. So he actually had money, like bills. He handed it out the window like this. And I went to grab it, like, okay, grab it and pull. And he pulled back. So we did this motion. And then he goes, don't grab the money from me like that. And I went back like this. I said, whoa, okay. So then I put my hand underneath that time, and he put the money on my hand, and I went to close my hand to take it, and he freaking took the money back. And I was like, are you like gonna pay me or not? Like, what is happening right now? So the next time he decided to come through the drive-thru, I told the manager, I said, girl, I'm not dealing with him. You need to come deal with him. Like, I'm not dealing with this crap. And she was like, why? And I was like, girl, this is the same guy that keep giving me issues. Like, I'm not dealing with it. No. And she was like, okay. So when she goes over to go take the money from him, he looks at me in the background and he looks at her and he just gives her the money, no problem. Really? That. He really just gave her the money, no problem. He took the coffee and just drove off, like kind of pissed off because he didn't get to talk to me or scare me or whatever you want to call it. I was just like, see, you're dealing with him from now on. I'm not dealing with him. I'm not cashing him out no more. Like, that's that. From then on, she dealt with him and rang him out. That was my whole situation and a few experiences that I dealt with at McDonald's because, you know, there's going to be different personalities you're going to have to learn how to deal with. You just have to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, it doesn't matter how pissed off, how angry you are, how much you don't like a person. You are going to have to learn how to deal and work with somebody because you could be a manager at some place and not like somebody. Guess what? If your manager is like, if you can't get along, you're fired. You know what I mean? I also learned how to be very independent during those jobs. I learned basically how to job. I need my fan. Okay. So basically at McDonald's, I definitely learned how to deal with people and how to work with coworkers. And I feel like those kinds of jobs, you learn your weaknesses and your strengths. You know, you learn a lot about yourself and like what you are able to handle and how to handle things. It definitely teaches you a lot on how to interpret situations or how to deal with situations because everything is unexpected every day. It's not like doing the same thing every day at the same time. So like, you just never know. And like, people need to stop down talking those jobs because those jobs are really important. They really are. And don't think you're too good for them because who knows, you could end up loving that job and becoming a general manager or a manager in general and make bank, because I'm not gonna lie, you make really good money at those kinds of jobs. It doesn't sound like it, but best believe it was a pretty good job at the time. Shit. Better than working at the dollar store. It was better than working at Marshall's. You know what I mean? Just because it's retail, I don't mean retail is a whole nother entity that we're not going to get into in this video right now. That was a quick get ready with me, guys. So thank you for listening to my story and my first job and my experiences at McDonald's. I have more stories. If you want to hear them, comment down below and I will do another one. If you guys have any questions or anything you want me to talk about, please let me know down in the comments below. And yes, I don't have my glasses on, so I'm kind of looking all over the place because I'm blind as a bat. Have a good one.